Hey guys, how you doing? This is Andrew Sims with the Sims Consulting Group, and on this Servant Leadership Sunday, man, I wanted to do a little talk about partnership. I was talking with one of my brothers this past week, one of my church brothers, and we got to talking about different people and just different partnerships and things that took the business one way, or a partnership that took the business another way. And I thought it was a very important topic because who you partner with can greatly affect the future or the outcome that your business or your ministry or whatever is going to have. So it's important that we understand certain concepts about partnership and how do you look for a potential partner, and what types of partners you should work with and shouldn't work with. And it really is really something you got to take a case by case basis, because certain things are facilitation type partnerships, meaning if you have a t-shirt company, right, and you don't necessarily own a press or something like that to make the t-shirts, then you're going to partner with a company, right, and they're going to make your t-shirts and ship it out to the consumer, right. That's a type of partnership, right. You're partnering with the business. But there's another type of partnership where it's a little bit closer, when you're bringing in a partner to help you run, or you're co-running a company, right. And that's the type of partnership I'm talking about today. And I got a couple of scriptures here that are going to help you identify some of the qualities that you want in a partner before you go ahead and sign those contracts, agreements, or you start to do business with the person. You want to make sure that they're the right type of partner, and you have the right type of partnership that's going to facilitate your end goal, where you're trying to be. And Ecclesiastes 4, chapter 4, verse 9 says, "Two are better than one, because they have good reward for their toil." I personally believe that. I think that a problem that we have with a lot of businesses, particularly minority businesses, is we don't do as much partnership as we need to. Because, like, for instance, if you're going for a government contract, right, and they need to see a certain amount of billable hours, or a certain amount of financial statements, or there needs to be a certain amount on the financial statement, or you need to be able to handle a certain capacity, then we need to be able to partner with other businesses that are in the same industry, so we can bid on and go for bigger contracts. But at the same time, we don't want to partner with the wrong type of person. So we want to make sure that our business values align. We want to make sure that that person is who they say they are, and that they're doing the type of work that they say they're doing. Because when you sign that contract and you start working with this potential government contracting, client or business, whatever, they're not going to separate the two. If one doesn't show up, then both of you. If the job doesn't get done correctly, it's going to fall on both of your shoulders. So you want to make sure that the person that you're working with is up to that. But Ecclesiastes chapter 4:9 says, "Two are better than one." And that's true in business, man. Sometimes having a partner or somebody to bounce ideas off. I bounce a lot of ideas off my wife. I bounce a lot of ideas off of people that are in my business group. I'm on a board for another company, and we bounce ideas off each other, just to make sure that it makes sense, that I'm not missing, I don't have blind spots, or maybe there's another way to look at something to make sure that it fits within the goal, the culture, the agenda of the organization that we're talking about. So you want to make sure that, again, two are better than one under the right circumstances. So you want to make sure that it's the right circumstances before you take that partnership role. Now, the second scripture I wanted to work on is kind of it's going to take a different little slice at it, right? And it says Amos 3:3. Well, it's Amos chapter 3, verse 3. It says, "Do two walk together unless they agree to meet?" Do two walk together unless they agree? Right? It's going to be hard for you to have a partner or partner with somebody that you don't agree with on the core values. There are going to be things in business where you're going to have opposing ideas, right? That happens. Sometimes that's even better, because you take those two ideas, you mess them together, and you make one great idea, because they're seeing it from one perspective, you're seeing it from one perspective or another perspective, and then you bring it together, 180, you bring it together for the whole 360, and you see the entire puzzle, the entire pizza, the entire pie, if you will, and you make better decisions. But can two walk together if they don't agree? There are certain people I can't partner with because our core values are not the same. That's not to discriminate. That's not to say that I'm here or they're there. It has nothing to do with that. But there has to be a certain mindset. And what I mean by that is not the way we necessarily process information or think, but there has to be what we will do versus and what we won't do. We have to be in agreement on some of the core values that I hold as a business person. I am not a by any means necessary type of business person. So for me to partner with somebody that says I'm going to do it by any means does not work, because we'll constantly butt heads. I would rather leave the deal on the table before it contradicts my core values. And if you're a person where it's just, hey, we got to get to this number, we got to get to this number, we got to get to this number, we probably won't work well together. Because we will constantly, like I said, be at odds and constantly going back and forth. So partners have to agree to the core values or the mission of the company or the mission of the combined company or the mission of the project, right? You have to agree on those things, because if you don't, you're going to be pulling the organization one way, they're going to be pulling the organization another way, and anything that has two heads that are pulling two different ways is a monster. It doesn't work well. So when you partner, have those discussions, have those fact-finding conversations to find, hey, what would you do in this situation? Or what would you do in that situation? Or what do you think about this particular, operation style? Like, I'm not a micromanager. I don't want to micromanage anybody. I think that micromanagement is where creativity, innovation, any type of good culture goes to die. It dies under the umbrella of micromanagement to me. So for me to work with somebody that's a micromanager, we would butt heads on how to build up, how to critique, how to develop staff. It would always be an argument. It would always be some kind of conflict of and you can have whatever style you think works right. If you think micromanagement works, go for you. That's great for you. But it doesn't work for me, and that's not the way I want to operate. That's not the way I want to treat people. That's not the way I want employees to feel when they work with me or for me or partner with me or whatever. So those things, we have to be aligned with how we see certain things. Now, since we're talking, this is a Christian take on it. My Christian worldview has to be connected to your Christian worldview. Now that's tough, because again, there are different takes on different scriptures and things like that. But ultimately, we have to see the world somewhat the same in order for us to continuously walk together as partners, or else there's going to be some sort of issue. And I think to avoid those long issues, those issues that really kind of cause wedges within the organization, you want to make sure that the partner you have has kind of the same worldview. Or else what'll happen is, again, they'll either pull you one way and you won't be who God created you to be, and you'll be kind of off balance, or you'll pull them another way and they won't be what they're supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? So it's not which side is right or which side is wrong. That's for you to decide. But at the end of the day, you have to share some similarities of core values in order for you to partner together with somebody. And it takes time, right? Don't partner with the person simply because the numbers look good. You know what I mean? You'll cause yourself a lot of headache by just looking at the numbers and not the person that you're actually going to be working with. And that goes into for hiring, right? If you're hiring somebody, they have to fit cohesively with the team, the unit, the project team, the sales team. They have to fit cohesively within that group to the best of their ability. Not saying they have to be all saying the same thing, thinking the same thing. And to some extent, when it comes to the company mission, they have to be saying the same thing. We have to be pushing the company in the same direction, right? But again, how they process information, it just has to mesh well with the other people on the team, because you don't want to bring somebody in that's going to destroy the nucleus or the team that you've already built. So there has to be some similarities even for teammates. That's not necessarily partnerships, because again, that's really the employer deciding on, hey, you're going to get hired, you're going to be with this team and things like that. But a good employer or a good person, hiring manager, would say, how are you going to fit in with this group? Because again, that's a level of partnership. It's not a partnership that they get to decide on, but it's a level of partnership that just has to be in place in order for things to get done appropriately. So all I'm saying is, Number one, sometimes partnership is a valuable tool to a business owner. It's a valuable resource, right? To be able to partner with somebody and either use their strengths cover your weaknesses and vice versa, and you could do more with two than you can do with one, right? Certain contract benefits and things like that, but you got to agree and you got to be going in the same direction, and you have to have the same core values. And again, once again, this is Andrew Sims with the Sims Consulting Group, and the two scriptures we used tonight was Amos 3:3 and Ecclesiastes chapter 4 verse 9, man. So make sure as you out there building your business and bringing on partners and team members, just make sure that they fit within what you're trying to accomplish, man. So once again, this is Andrew Sims with the Sims Consulting Group. Y'all be blessed, man. Peace.